Hello lovely people and welcome back to this week's new video. I'm here with the end of the year book tag, which is kind of scary because it is, when you're seeing this, now November. 2023 is quickly approaching. I kind of decided to do this video on a whim. We'll see what answers I can come up with. I feel like it's kind of more of a scavenger that way and it's a little bit more fun. Let's just get into the first question. Are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? I typically read one book at a time and I will quickly DNF it if I don't think that it's for me. Not that I've had many DNFs, I don't do that very often, but currently I am reading two books. They're up here. Uzumaki by Junji Ito. I'm reading it in Japanese, so I figured this would be my at-home book. And then everywhere else I will read Free Food for Millionaires by Min Jin Lee. You know, it'd be ideal to finish both of these and not read them for too long, but I don't have anything that I've been reading. I've only been reading this for like a weekend. I haven't been reading anything else and put down and need to pick back up again. Hopefully I won't for the rest of the year also. Next question. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I don't necessarily have autumnal books. I don't really know what that would mean. I have a lot of winter books I would like to read, but I think The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig, I bought this last year or something and I was saving it for Halloween, like spooky season, and I didn't get to it, and obviously have not gotten to it yet either for spooky season this year. But I think, you know, it's time. I feel like horror doesn't need to be saved for spooky season, but it is a chunky one, so I had been thinking of giving it a dedicated vlog, but I feel like this is something that I would like to get to, and to me spooky season or horror books are synonymous with autumn. I do have some winter books I'd like to read. The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. Hopefully I like it better than The Paris Apartment because I really loved the guest list. And then I also have my May pick for Book of the Month, Breathless by Amy McCullough. Heard mixed reviews about this, but I am reading this for an upcoming vlog, so hopefully it's not the worst thing in the world. The third question is there a new release you're still waiting for? And I have two actually. I didn't look too much into books that were coming out for the latter half of the year. I had a lot of books that I was looking forward to for the first half of the year. I kind of just stopped keeping up with them, so I don't really know what's coming out for early next year either. I still have to look into that. However, the two books that I have are Secluded Cabin Sleep 6 by Lisa Unger, which is about three couples who rent a isolated luxury cabin getaway, which comes with a personal chef and everything, and they're enjoying this holiday, except that there is a deadly storm brewing. I don't know if that's like a metaphor or whatever, but the personal chef there is telling them stories about the house and the past, which is revealing a quote spine-tingling history. And the friends, all three couples, have their own complicated history that's coming up, and the rental host is just overstaying their welcome a little bit, not leaving them alone, and is just there for too long, which is getting really annoying. Tensions are running a little bit high, is what I know about it. The second book that I have is The Last Invitation by Darby Kane. Darby Kane is an author that I've been wanting to explore and read from, but haven't gotten to. I think like Pretty Little Wife is one of the titles. All I know about this one is that there is a secret society that meets every month, once a month, and they all vote on this one person or whatever, and someone ends up dead. That sounds like a terrible situation, but a really great suspense novel, so that is something that's coming out, I believe, in the beginning of December. What are three books you want to read before the end of the year? I have two by R.F. Kuang, which I kind of just gives it away, but the first one is The Burning Gods, but The Burning God, singular, by R.F. Kuang. I've kind of been putting off reading the last book in this series because I really like this trilogy so far. Same went with the Greenbone Warriors saga. I loved Jade Legacy a lot and it was heartbreaking, cried a little, so I'm nervous, but I really would like to get to this while the second book is fresh in my mind, but this is something that I would like to get to eventually. I would like to get to also Babel by R.F. Kuang, which I'm planning on purchasing. I have a book shopping date with my friend and I would like to find that while we are doing so. Coda and I did a little day trip up to Cold Spring, and there was an independent bookstore there that I wanted to visit, but sadly, because it's a small indie bookstore, they didn't have a lot of new releases, so I wasn't able to find that there. So now I'm even more excited to find her elsewhere. And then I couldn't decide. I would like to get to either of my Sally Rooney books. I really loved Normal People in 2020. It was my favorite book of the year. I found this luckily in my little free library, and then I ended up pre-ordering this one, Beautiful World, Where Are You? And I have not gotten to it, so I don't know which one, but I would like to get to one of these and see if this author is someone that I really like. The fifth question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I feel like I'm quite picky. I don't usually have a lot of 5-star reads. I don't really know what to say for this one. I feel like The Burning God could be, but I already chose that for this, so I don't want to be boring. Oh, but I did read The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead and realized that maybe, hey, Ashley Winstead could be one of my favorite authors. So without knowing anything, I put her other book that I have not read yet, Fool Me Once, on hold at the library, and I'm waiting for that to come and thinking it doesn't have to be 5 stars. Even if it's a 4-star, I feel like Ashley Winstead could be a favorite author of mine, so I will definitely look forward to anything else that she puts out. So I have a possible favorite author. I feel like that's something. And then another book was The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I knew that her name sounded familiar and that she wrote Geekerella, which I didn't realize ended up being a series, and I have not read anything else in that. But this is, I think, her first adult book. It might hit a little bit too close to home for me, which is why I thought it might end up being something that I relate to a lot and something that I will enjoy, leading it to be a favorite. So Florence is a romance author, and she has a breakup. She no longer believes in love, apparently, but then she gets a phone call from her estranged family, I believe, and her father has passed away. So she's returning to her small town that she's from, that she hasn't returned to in 10 years, and it has a little bit of a magical realism aspect, which is why this is sort of a toss-up as well, because I don't typically like magical realism books. I prefer it to be like completely contemporary or completely fantasy and nothing in between. I just find the magical realism aspect to be a little bit too hard to believe. I think she can see ghosts, she can see the dead because of like the whole dead dad aspect. I thought that might be something that I could relate to, but we'll see. It helps that Gabby liked it from Gabby Reads, because she and I have a lot of the same taste and ratings for books. Maybe that can be something that I enjoy. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know if this would be like a total shock, because I'm like low-key anticipating them to be. I'm trying to look at my physical TBR, but I can't think of any books that I have on hold at the library other than Fool Me Once that might possibly be really good. Maybe Free Food for Millionaires, because I really enjoyed Pachinko by Min Jin Lee as well. Next up, the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Technically yes, very loosely I have, because I am starting to think about what my Goodreads goal for next year should be and stuff like that. My current goal is at 150, and I will surpass that because I've consistently been 6 books ahead for a few months now, but I'm thinking I was struggling for a little bit with that, so maybe I might bump it down to 125 or something. I haven't really thought about it. I'm still seeing like what might work with my schedule. I have been brainstorming a little bit more about like video ideas, so if you have anything you would like to see from me, please let me know. I'm probably just thinking about videos I can do in January for the most part. I don't know what other bookish reading plans. Oh, books that I could read. Probably some fantasy series that I would like to continue / finish would be really great, like the Throne of Glass series, or a lot more of Cassandra Clare, City of Bones. I'm looking up at my physical TBR. I would like to, I think, start City of Bones, and then the Clockwork, whatever those series are called, I want to continue. I don't know what kind of reading plans are people thinking about, like what exactly they're gonna read, because I usually don't really, I'm a mood reader, so I don't come up with TBRs or anything like that. I'll probably dwindle down my physical TBR. I have a vlog idea that I'm currently working on that is helping with that a little bit. Otherwise, I would like to do a huge like unhaul and do like a reset vlog for the end of the year to prepare and just like kind of clean up my room a little bit more and have like a fresh space before the new year. I'm also like possibly I'm like, oh, I don't know any of my reading plans and I have all these thoughts. I'm rethinking my book of the month plan. Not that I would cancel it, but I think I want to be more intentional about why I'm picking books, and I have to be really excited about them so that I could A, not waste money on a book that's gonna end up being really mediocre and about 3 stars or less for me, because recently they have all been that. I do have my October book to read and stuff, and I have to pick my November book at this point, but I haven't really been enjoying them, and it feels like just a waste to have this subscription for books that I'm not gonna like in the end. But I think that might be it. So let me know what your reading plans are for next year, what books that you're looking forward to reading before the end of the year, and also if you have any anticipated reads that are going to be published this year that I should also be on the lookout for. And I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!